Now we're going to make Barb's tasseled party dress. This section uses the loop stitch. The loop stitch is worked on the wrong side of rows, so you make the stitch with the wrong side facing you, and then the loopy part sticks out to the right side, just to give you a heads up. The even rows are the wrong side rows in this section. We will be starting with a foundation chain of 28 chains. So here we go, 28 chains. And then we're going to work into the bumps on the back of the chain, starting in the second chain from the hook. And then we're going to make 27 single crochets, all in the bumps on the back of the chain. If you're not familiar with that technique, it's a pretty nice way of working into foundation chains, and we'll link out to a little video that shows you how to do it. In the next stitch, we'll start making in the next row, we'll start making our loop stitches. We have a very, very short video that will show you how to make those stitches, and we'll link out to that. I'm not going to narrate how to make the stitches in this video, but the tutorial video slows it down a little bit and tells you how to do it. And if you aren't familiar with loop stitch, I highly recommend you watching that. Pausing this video here and watching that real quick, and then coming back to row 2 of this section. Okay, we've reached the end of that row. We chained 1 and we're turning the work. This is row 2, wrong side row. So we're going to make our loop stitches, and we're going to do loop stitches, 27 loop stitches all the way across the row. Like I said, there is a video tutorial showing you specifically how to make the loop stitch. It's super short, like 30 seconds or something. So you can watch it once or as many times as you need to get comfortable with the stitch. It slows it down, so it's a little bit easier to see than the stitch in this video. I should point out, though, that when you're making this step of the dress, if you want all those loops to be the same size, you can use something. You can tighten it down before you do the second part of the loop and, adjust that loop size. So sometimes when I want it to be very uniform, I'll use something like a pencil. I'll stick it in the loop, tighten the loop down over it, and then lock the stitch in place, and then remove the pencil. But a lot of times I just use my finger. You can also do loop stitch if you're working in the round, but because you're working the loop stitch on the other side of the work, you have to be working in the round from the inside out, if that makes sense. So if you didn't want the whole thing to be a loop stitch, you would have to make a point of turning the work before starting the loop stitch section of something. Our Finnegan fawn pattern employs that trick. And you can see from this side, the loop stitch looks just like single crochets, which is kind of cool. Okay, when we get to the end of row 2, we are going to chain 1 and turn the work. And then row 3 is a right side row, so it's not a loop stitch row. So chain 1, turn the work, and in this row we're going to do a few increases. We're going to start by increasing in the first stitch, and we're doing all of this in the back loops only. Then we're going to single crochet 8. I lost count, pulling it out. Here we go, increase. Single crochet 8, and again, this is all in back loops. Increase, single crochet 7, Chain 1 and turn the work. I forgot to say increase, single crochet, increase on that row. Okay, this is a loop stitch row. We're gonna make 31 loop stitches straight across the row. Just a side note, that previous row, if you missed that, it was increase, single crochet 8, increase, single crochet 7, increase, single crochet 8, and then one more increase to end the row. So that left us with 31 stitches. And this row, which is a wrong side row, is 31 loop stitches. It's not the quickest stitch. Sure, if you did it a lot, you'd probably get faster at it than I am. Great. At the end of this round, we're going to chain 1, turn the work, and then we're going to work row 5, which is a right side row, in the back loops only, and we're going to increase again. We're going to do increase, single crochet 9 3 times, and then end with 1 increase, and that's going to take us to 35 stitches. So we did our first increase, and now we're single crochet 9. increase, single crochet 9, increase, single crochet 9, chain 1, turn the work. This is a wrong side row and it's going to be our final loop stitch row. Sure you're excited about that? And we're going to do 35 loop stitches straight across. Okay, we're coming up on the end of the row here. And at the end of this row, we are going to do something slightly different. Rather than turning and working back across the row, we're going to rotate the work and crochet along the edge of the rows. So if you want, you can take a minute here to pause and kind of push those loops in one direction. This will help you later on. You want to push them towards the wider end, so like you're pushing them downwards towards row 6. That's the bottom of the dress. If you just hold them for a second and press them flat, it'll be a little bit easier to do the next step. Great. It doesn't have to be gorgeous right now. You can fluff them later. So back to where we left off. We're going to be joining our dress by working through these row edges. In the video, I think I'm trying to decide whether I should join them right away or whether I need to make one row of single crochets first. So here I'm just single crocheting through both edges. So it should be about 6 single crochets since we have 6 rows of work. I think in the original pattern, I did 1 row of single crochets and then joined those edges. Either way is going to work. Now press your loops all in the same direction. So you can see Barb's tassel dress. And then when you get to that point, you can just slip that around Barb. And if you want it to be permanent, you can stitch it in place with those yarn tails. Otherwise, weave in those yarn tails. Either way works. Look how cute. I kind of like the dress to be permanent, but not everybody will feel that way. So I'm gonna sew her. And I'm stitching it a couple rounds below the breast. Once you've tacked it in a few places, you can just weave in the tails. And you're ready to move on to the next section.